Hello everybody, welcome back to Leeton. My name's Jace. Apologies, I've not put out a video for a few weeks. It's just been manic. Life has taken over. Problems with vehicles, work, family, you know the story. And the weather. The weather's been pretty rubbish. Had a really hot Easter couple of days. But since it's been raining, it's been really windy. And one of the problems I've had a fence panel come out. So that's going to be the first job. And then I've got lots of things to plant out. Lots of brassicas. I've got onions to put out. I've got potatoes to put in. Lots to do. But before I can do that, I need to get this fence panel sorted. And that's going to involve a bit of digging and sorting things out, and I'll explain why. I'll get the camera set up and I'll explain what the problem is. So when I put this fence in, this part of the garden was 3 foot lower, and we put the posts, these are 10-foot posts, and we put them 2 foot in the ground. Then we had a lot of topsoil dropped over the fence, raising the ground 3 feet. Instead of buying gravel boards, we had a lot of 2 foot and 3 foot concrete slabs, which I thought, well, we'll use those, save a lot of money. We actually saved £400 in gravel boards by using these slabs, and 3 slabs to a panel. The problem is they don't fit exactly like the gravel boards would, so the panel was always a little bit loose in this one section. And I didn't get around to extending the panel properly, and then we had a lot of wind, and then the panel came out. And the other thing is, when they dropped the soil over the fence, they just knocked this one a bit, and that's why this slab's leaning. So what I'm going to do is dig down, straighten this up, backfill it on this side, and then I'm going to get a batten of wood and extend the fence panel so that it fits between the posts properly. So what I've got here is one of the panels that we cut down to make up the distance, the length correctly. And it's got these battens on it that I can use to extend that one. So I'm just going to quickly take these off. And then these slats will just get used on the lock builder. Okay, that's the fence repaired. Probably will need a bit more work in time, but it'll do for now, do for this summer anyway. So my next job is I want to get this bed planted out with my brassicas, and I've dug it over slightly. I do want to go no dig eventually, but I haven't got enough compost funds available to do all of the garden all at once. So I've dug it over, I've removed as many weeds as I can. There are some more that's come through that I'll take out as I go along, and then next year, this winter, I'll probably put cardboard on it and compost or manure, and then start no dig properly next year. So before I plant my brassicas in here, I want to get some hoops set up, because I want to cover them with an EnviroMesh type garden mesh, because last year massive problems with aphids and cabbage white as well. So I'm going to try and protect everything as best I can. So when I was sorting out one of the sheds, I found these drain rods, either drain rods or chimney sweep rods, and they're 2 meters long, and I think they're going to make a nice hoop for this bed. So I think I'm going to go along, set those up, put a top bar in as well, just some scrap wood or something and cable ties, and that'll certainly do to get things going. I might have to make a higher structure where the sprouts are going to be, but I can do that later, in the year. For now it's about getting things in the ground, because everything's struggling now in the pots, and I really need to get stuff planted out. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, before I put the broccoli in, because I've got so many of them, if you remember I used them to do that experiment with the Yangzhou propagators, and I'm not going to be able to use them all. So what I'm going to do is put the sprouts in at this end, because I haven't got many of them, I've only got 6 of those, and then fill the gap in the middle with as many broccoli as I can. The sprouts have actually stayed looking pretty healthy. Now, as I said, I might have to increase the height of this end as time goes on, because the sprouts grow quite tall. So sprouts have come to here, my cauliflower have come to just the other side of that tray, and that tray's full of broccoli, so I'm going to fill this space now with as many as I can sensibly get in there, obviously picking out the healthier ones, the stronger ones, and that'll be the brassicas planted for the spring anyway. So the next job, I've got these Charlotte potatoes that have been chitting since the end of January. I bought 3 bags, 3 kilos. I've sown about 2 kilos in pots, but I thought what I might as well do is plant these in a block just here, and they should come up probably, will be ready hopefully about a month after the others, so I will hopefully space out the cropping, and then all the main crop I might do the same, plant them all in this polytunnel area but in blocks. And I think we've got King Edward, pink fir apple, and Maris Piper, I think. I can't remember, I'm going to have to check that. I'm going to get these in the ground. I'm just going to plant them about trowel depth and just leave on a couple of decent chits. Right everybody, Sunday, about midday. I'm going to get this bed sorted out next and get the onions in, the ones that are left. I cooked some of them in the clutch over the Easter bank holiday. I was distracted, it got hot, and this is the result. I think out of that tray there's 3, so a bit of a catastrophe really, but the other 2 trays aren't as bad. There's quite a few left. May need to get some sets, but never mind, it was my own fault. Got distracted and basically cooked them. Right, let's get on. Okay, so I've just really pruned that pyracanthus that I planted right back, so that I've just got one single stem that I can train up that fence post. And these are some cuttings, well, basically just clippings off the front hedge, and I just shoved them in the pot, and it looks like a couple of them have taken, and it looks like the rest have perhaps died. So I'm going to take out the ones that look like they've got some roots. We'll find out. Let's have a quick look. We've got a trowel. Not grown any roots. Nothing. Oh, maybe just a little bit. Try this one. Looks like they're just starting to form some roots, so they're not ready yet at all. So I'll put those back in there. Take out the dead ones. They can go in the compost. And the cuttings that I've just taken, I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully we will get some more pyracanthus stems to plant in along this fence. Okay, so it's time to salvage what is left of the onions. And get them planted. I'm just planting these about 6 inches apart, I suppose. So that's all my tray modules, onions sown. I've got to count up 144 out of 120. That's pretty bad, isn't it? It's my own fault. However, I did have the foresight to sow some spares. So the ones that I've planted in the ground here were sown early January, something like the 8th of January, and on the 2nd of February I sowed some more. So I'm just going to prick these out, put them in the ground, and I've probably got another 30 here, so it's getting me back up to somewhere where I wanted to be. Obviously, out of the 120 modules, I didn't expect them all to survive anyway, so if I end up with around about 80, 90, 100 onions, I'll be happy for this year. So let's get these in the ground. Alright guys, well, it's starting to rain, and looking at the sky over there, it's going to come down quite heavy, I think. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. But I did manage to get onions in, and yesterday we've got the brassicas in, and in that area there in the polytunnel, the remainder of the Charlotte early potatoes. So got lots more to do, so I'm going to have to crack on with that in the week between work, and get the rest of the stuff planted out. I've got beetroot to put out, I've got a lot of leeks to put out, got a few spring onions, kale, spinach, yeah, a lot to do. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, and follow the channel on our journey to try and become more self-sufficient, and give us a thumbs up as well, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.